Welcome to the 2021 Mercedes-Benz E53 AMG. Comes standard, of course, with 4MATIC Plus AMG all-wheel drive. Of course, as always, my name is Marcus. You're watching Roads Untraveled. Today I'm driving an exciting new AMG. It's not completely new, let's be honest. 2021, they redesigned completely the front and rear ends. We'll get to that a little bit later. So this one behind me starts at $90,000 Canadian, and as tested with a bunch of options that we'll go over, has been spec'd out to about $119,000 Canadian. So let's get behind the wheel, let's go for a drive and see how it does. And of course, because this E53 AMG I'm driving today has been equipped with the AMG track package, it does have the AMG steering wheel. This is a brand new steering wheel that is also available on the new S-Class, which I drove not too long ago, but this is the first time I'm using the steering wheel. It's really nice. It's got Alcantara on the sides here. It's very much similar to the older, not really older, but the pre-refresh, I guess you could say, AMG wheel. It does have this dual layout on either side here. Effectively, what you're really getting from this is the ability to, on the fly, without having your hands come off the steering wheel, you're able to change AMG Dynamic Select from comfort to sport, and we'll go into Sport Plus, then go down here and hit manual. And then on the left control here, you're able to customize this, and on the fly as well, like let's say we have the exhaust in loud mode right now, we can turn that off with the click of a button if you see an officer of the law and you don't want your exhaust to be really loud. And you can do that. You can switch it to anything: traction mode, suspension mode, manual mode, start stop. Turbocharged 3-liter inline 6 under the hood and a 48-volt mild hybrid system. It makes a stout 429 horsepower and 384 pound-feet of torque, in which that 48-volt hybrid system contributes a little bit of that peak power to. Actually, that's indeed why you guys can't see, maybe you can, on the GoPro back here, the power and torque readouts here. And I did a pull the other day, and the power was above the quoted 429 horsepower. I peaked at about, I think, 434 horsepower or thereabouts. So momentarily you will be able to get that extra boost from the mild hybrid system. But standard all-wheel drive, it is rear bias, which is fantastic, absolutely welcome here. And because we have the AMG track pack, we have unlocked race mode, which includes drift mode. But I'm not sure we'll have an opportunity to actually take full advantage of drift mode, but the E53 is able to send 100% of the torque to the rear wheels, which is very much welcome. So what I can do here is go down into race mode, and that puts AMG Dynamics in master, which is effectively a lot of what the stability control is doing. The brake vectoring and the yaw control of the vehicle is handled through the AMG Dynamics. So you have basic, advanced, pro, and master. So we're in race mode. So unfortunately, the E53 doesn't have a dedicated launch mode as far as I can tell, but we'll do our best to do a little brake boost, and we'll start off with a launch here. We'll put it in auto so it shifts for us. Let's go. $60 miles an hour. Wow. Wow, she's stiff in race mode though. As you guys can see, almost launched out of my chair there. It's quick, very quick. 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. RS5 does 0 to 60 in 3.8, a little bit quicker, but again, that's of course due to the fact that the RS5 has 444 horsepower, so a little bit more there. Now, the E53 is an interesting car because that 6-cylinder is not, of course, the 4-liter bi-turbo AMG V8 that we've all come to know and love for its just absolutely unparalleled torque delivery, sound, and when you're not on it, fuel efficiency, especially when compared to the outgoing, the old NA, beloved 6.2-liter. I find myself enjoying the sound of the M340i and the Supra a little bit more. I've never driven an RS5, so I can't speak to that twin-turbo V6, but we all know inline 6s traditionally just sound better as a general rule over V6s. Got the 9-speed multi-clutch transmission, which is different from the transmission you get if you go with the E450. That is a torque converter 9-speed. So the difference here is it is a multi-clutch setup. It has a wet clutch that gets you off of the line. And then from there, basically, the idea behind this transmission is it's a good middle ground. You know, you don't want a torque converter in a performance AMG. That would be a massive disappointment because the downshifts would not be like that. They wouldn't be nearly that crisp. So what the multi-clutch 9-speed is a brilliant middle ground between something that can actually handle the torque. Not that I think a dual clutch would have issues with 384 pound-feet, but it's a good middle ground between handling the torque, but at the same time, not sacrificing shift times. It does come standard with AMG Air suspension, which of course has different damper settings between Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus. So even though this was spec'd with the AMG track package, for some reason, the car I'm driving today, and I haven't had a chance to actually ask Mercedes about this, but the one I'm driving today has not been equipped with the optional 20-inch wheels. I'm happy about that. I'm super stoked about that because this one's running 19s and snow tires because it is still kind of cold out here. So it does have a little bit more sidewall flex. I can feel what the tires are doing phenomenally. Steering's great. I can feel what's coming through the front wheels. And the smaller bumps are just that much softer in comfort mode, which, even though I'm not driving in that mode right now, is very welcome. This one's also been fitted with the exclusive package, which includes soft closed doors. So plenty of power here. I mean, this car's not, it doesn't have that, wow, that post 100 mile an hour, or even really post 80 mile an hour, just absolute abundance of rolling torque that any AMG V8 has. It doesn't quite have that. But as far as a touring, luxury touring, sport AMG experience goes, it's fast. It's really fast. 429 horsepower is plenty here. It is very happy to, let's say at 1500 RPM, go full boost and provide all 384 pound-feet of torque without switching gears. Of course, if you guys have watched any videos or driven any new Mercedes, you would know that, of course, we've got the dual 12.3-inch LED screens here. You do have all of your climate controls down here as physical buttons still. So the one thing that Mercedes is keeping physical buttons, other than this trackpad and all of your dynamic select switches, your suspension, exhaust, start, stop, parking cameras, is the climate control here. And then if you want additional options like AC and a number of other things, then you can actually hit the menu button and it'll pull it up. Have your fuel efficiency. I've been getting terrible fuel mileage because my foot's buried a lot of the times. And then you can change this to classic, sport, super sport, or understated. on the gauge cluster here, which kind of changes up the look a little bit. This one has been spec'd with the heads-up display, which I believe is a $500 option. And the heads-up display is infinitely customizable as well. Right now I have kind of a race spec looking horizontal tack, what gear I'm in, and the speed. In driving these AMG cars and driving the E53, I don't find myself getting used to the trackpad as quickly as I feel like I should. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like, yeah, in terms of moving my hand around, it's really easy to do. It's not as quick as just a knob or a straight up just touchscreen, which you can use this as a touchscreen, but it is a bit far away, or I'm just short. One of the two. And I've got to say, as far as AMG goes, I was worried that this would be way too stiff in comfort mode. This is not. This is airing, as far as AMG goes, I'm surprised to say it's airing a little bit more on the touring side. I would drive this. I could absolutely drive this for a longer drive, and I would not be in pain by the time I got to my destination. My ears wouldn't be hurting. All right, you guys, well, that is the 2021 E53 AMG, a great middle ground, especially with gas prices this high, a good middle ground AMG. It's not obnoxious. As far as AMG goes, it's great to drive. It doesn't have 650 pound-feet of torque. It doesn't have incredibly stiff suspension all of the time if you don't want it to. And it's not huge. It's not obnoxiously loud. But at the same time, it doesn't, if you're looking for this, it doesn't stand out quite as much as some of the more brash AMG products. But if that's your thing, that's your thing. Thanks guys for watching. Hit me up on Instagram if you want to see what I'm driving coming up pretty soon. I will be driving my buddy Jerry's Mark IV Toyota Supra single turbo with a bunch of power. I'm sure that's gonna be fun. So hit the notification bell, that really helps out if you want to see what I'm driving and shooting. And yeah, until next time, we'll see you soon.